Good morning. Hello. Oh, yeah, the comments. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Let me get some music. Please don't stop the music. Good morning. Well, late today, and I blame Peter. By the way, I blame Peter. Wait, is Empress back? Empress. Where have you been, Empress? She walked in the night. Empress, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Good morning, everybody. Exactly when they're supposed to? Yes, I agree with that. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, this morning looks a bit suspicious. There are names to look at, right? Like I said, ENGN is kind of off the list now. Well, I mean, it can be on the list unless we break below the 200 EM and then off, right? So that still looks okay, but for now, MSPR and QNRX look way better, right? And then Rain had a random pump here. This is the danger of FOMOing into some of these things on that initial run is they pump so hard and then they drop so hard. So if you play something like that, you have to get out, right? Yeah. So again, for now, if Rain continues to die like that and ENGN doesn't hold that 200 EMA, the only two names that look good right now, QNRX and MSPR, right? So MSPR is playing with that supply zone. So it's really trying to break above it. And then if it can break, your next resistance is 65. Alrighty, so 65 would be a really good breakout for MSPR. Yeah, so these two stand out the most to me for now. And then there's some other random names that I have on because I want to see what they look like going into the open as well. Like CYCU looks okay. Alrighty. And then BODI had some interesting news this morning, but yeah, these are just other options. Cool. 2 minutes till the market opens, guys. What's your favorite stock going into the open? What's your favorite name going into the open? MSPR. Okay. A bull. Bull is unbelievable. Speaking of SPY, last I checked, the markets were all red this morning. Red. And I think they're still red. Right, nothing too crazy, right? But red. So let's see. BTC should be in the same group too. Red. Right. See, we get another red to green day today. That'd be good. That'd be good. So it looks like for a lot of you, the name you're paying attention to is MSPR, right? So yeah, MSPR seems to stand out. There it goes. There it goes, guys. Yup. Surprise. Surprise. The only yeah. So just be aware that the market is open. So these runs you can't necessarily trust them all the way, but we knew this was number one coming into the open, right? So for now, let's see how well it performs. Alrighty. See how well it performs. That thing needs to consolidate above that 65, and then we're looking for beyond 70. Alrighty, so we'll see. There we go. Yeah, MSPR looks nice. Would have been good if you got into this one earlier in pre-market. That would have been good. Yeah. So that thing does need to consolidate above 65 though. Just be mindful again that the market just opened, guys, please. Alrighty. QNRX looks okay as well. It just doesn't have the volume yet, but it looks fine still. So that volume will need to kick in at some point. Rain looks like garbage. SPY just popped back. Right. So again, this is expected, right? It's the market open. It's the market open. This I wouldn't look at this and say, hey, we're gonna go up, right? It does that every morning, so up or down. Um, yeah. Anyways, type yes in the chat if you're holding MSPR. Type yes in the chat if you're holding MSPR. QNRX is still kind of sitting in that same spot, but this is right number one for now. That thing almost needs more consolidation or retest of that 65. If a worst case, a retest of 62, right? But that thing needs to retest something and then give us a slow curl, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys are holding this. Just again, the market just opened and we had a pop. So when that happens, I'm usually expecting a retest of something, right? So whether that's 65 or 62, consolidate and then curl. That would be good, right? From the take profit executed second before the open. Wow, look at that. $600. Good job. You bought it at 54. Good job, Hypes. Yeah, up 10 cents there. 10 cents for a penny stock like this is really good. Good job, BLK. So again, QNRX is still dipping into that demand zone. So watch closer to the 200 EMA there if we can hold. That would be good. CYCU nothing there. The other one nothing. Rain nothing. ENGN is kind of consolidating and curling, right? So like I said, this was number 3 on the list. As long as it stays above that 200 EMA, that's okay. Turd. Yeah. So this one, I just had it on here because it did really well like early on, and then it started to consolidate, right? So if this is something you're watching, try and stay above 260, 265. Alrighty? Yeah, try and stay above that level there. Cool. QNRX again for now is the second name along with, the first name, which is MSPR. So we like both of these names the most for now, QNRX and MSPR. Cool. La 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 la. Yeah. No, so in Discord, Regan, right? So if you look at the HT signal channel, yeah. Alrighty. Anyways, so looks like we're retesting 62 rather than 65, right? Which isn't a big surprise. Yeah. Yeah. LPSN is halted up out of nowhere. Let me pull that up. Rain is testing the 200 EMA. I don't know if that thing's gonna bounce though. We'll come back to that at some point. Yeah, LPSN. Um, the volume is a bit interesting. It's 150,000 shares. So holds like these ones are always a bit scary, but we'll see. Alrighty, so again, here comes our retest of 62. The reason we say 62, guys, is because 62 was one of the levels that we broke up above from this morning, right? So you almost expect it to come back and retest. If you're looking for a brand new position, then you want to see that thing consolidate at that level. Because if it doesn't hold, then we're looking for 58 again, right? So it's trying to hold that 62 for now. Trying to. There we go. 62 back to 65. There we go. Solid bounce, right? Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Right? Can we get some proper pushing though? Some proper pushing would be good. Yeah. Any of the other names doing anything? Not really. CYC almost looks like it wants to break out, but it's not quite doing it yet. So 3335 resistance on CYCU if you're watching that. SPY is going back down, Peter. Right. So those initial 2 exciting candles are a little bit deceiving. A bit deceiving. And then we're still playing with 65 cents now for MSPR, almost like it's using that next level as resistance, which is kind of annoying, isn't it? We want to see boom skis. I wonder how well we perform today with it being a holiday, like a banking holiday. I wonder if, like, we actually get volume today. We'll see. Because pre-market was pretty slow. So I hope that doesn't translate to the rest of the day, just because it's a holiday and people don't have cash, right? I hope we actually get some nice boom skis. CYCU is breaking that 335 level. QNRX is still holding that demand zone, but you can clearly see that there's a bit of a downtrend that's formed there now, you know? So, like, right there. So it's going to need to break above that downtrend. Also, the VWAP is kind of sitting in that same spot. So 1335 break and close above that level and then push it, right? But you can see the bottom of the demand zone here, though. It's almost like a little wedgie wedge there, right? So holding up really nicely, right? Again, MSPR still chilling with 65 there. So it's fighting, right? There we go. Fighting, fighting, fighting. There we go. As soon as I'm like, yep, yeah, here we go. That thing says, you sure? Anyways, look at that. We're just going back and forth. Back and forth there. That explains why, Donovan. Yeah, it's a holiday today. So if you have a cash account and you used that cash yesterday, the cash is not going to be settled today, right? You're going to have the cash tomorrow, just not today. Just not today. CYCU said, "Thanks, guys. Thanks. I'm breaking out and I'm going back to." It's a nice pop, isn't it? Not bad. Yeah, 350. Not a bad pop at all. Yeah. Uh, hmm. Yeah. $3.50. I mean, the other ones are slacking, right? So QNRX is still playing with that downtrend. MSPR clearly doesn't want to get back about 65 cents for some reason. So with CYCU, though, you can see that your next resistance is 350. So I wonder if today's going to be one of those days where we just go to resistance and nothing can break. Uh, can I pay for your dis using Wise? What's Wise money? What's Wise? 1269 Scuba? Okay. Yeah, you're green in that position, right? And it is trying to break out. So if it can break out and cook, that would be perfect. That would be perfect. That would be perfect. You are green in that position, though, so that's good. So it's trying. MSPR still chilling here, guys. Yep. It doesn't, that's the thing though. Like, it doesn't look bad, does it? Right. So we came back and did exactly what we needed to do, right? So we needed to come back for the retest. Yeah. Use anything that YouTube takes. Yep. There's so many options, right? So again, MSPR has done exactly what we needed it to do. We wanted that thing to come back and either retest 65 or 62 and consolidate. It's done 62. So it looks good. We just need the follow through, right? We need the violence to the way to the upside, right? QNRX it broke above that resistance and it is holding above it, so that's also good, right? Peter is trying to kill Spy, so we'll see if he succeeds, and then go from there. So here we go again, 66 almost. There we go, 66. Here we go. Come on. Where you pay the goats and chickens. Yes. I'll bring you my chicken when they grow up, Peter. That's what they say. Come on, Yogi. This thing needs to pop for you. There we go. As soon as we said Yogi, the thing said, "Yeah, I do." So there goes 67. We need the breakout. So um, yeah, Eva. Hi, Eva. Eva. Hi, hi, hi. 67. Oh, hi. Oh, okay, 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 okay. It's my daughter Ava. She's watching with me today. Oh, amazing. That's amazing. Virus has been teaching his daughter Ava to trade, which is amazing, right? And she seems really, really smart. Like just Virus has showed me some decisions, and yeah, that's amazing. So Ava, hi. There goes 68 cents, guys. Perfect. Look at that. That was perfect. So 65 retest. That was perfect, guys. Look at that. 69. Boom skis. Love it. Love it, 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 love it. There we go. 69. There we go. Perfect. So you can kind of tell we're testing that 70 cents now, which is amazing, right? So we do need to break above that level next, right? But this is looking good, right? We like it. We like it. Yeah, Yogi says, there we go. Yeah, we like it. So again, 70 cents is your next resistance here, guys. So we do need to clear that level as well. So we do need to clear that level. Alrighty. And then go from there. Cool. If you're still in your MSPR position, type yes in the chat. Right, and then move that stop loss up, please. Alrighty. Vitamin so you can grow big and tall. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Ava is the next generation. We don't want to teach her to be roasting, So I'm gonna be I'm gonna be nice to Ava. Yeah. 63 to 69.50. Well done, Adrian. That was a really good scalp. Really good scalp. So now let's see if we can clear this 70-cent resistance here, because it looks like we are about to. Right? It is resistance, so make sure you're moving the stop losses up or thinking about scaling out or scaling out. Right? So, and congratulations, because I know this is the one you guys are holding the most. So I like it. It's nice that it's nice when everybody's in one name and the one name performs. It's like, okay, good, good, good. Not just a random stock. LPSN is done okay, but yeah, that thing was way too random with too low volume, right? QNRX is retesting the trend line, so and then MSPR is still at that 70-cent resistance, so we do need to break that level. It's an important skill. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I think the beauty of Ava learning so young is I think the downside to a lot to what like a lot of the mistakes we make are just bad habits. You know, so learning at that age is amazing. There we go, guys. Nice pops. Uh, yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. 72. There we go. Again, congratulations if you're still in that position, guys. Make sure you're moving those stop losses up. Alrighty. Or pay yourself on the way up. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So again, make sure you're moving your stop losses up or take those gains. Scale out on the way up, right? You don't have to wait for the perfect spot to sell. Right? I think that's something that gets people a little bit, hesitant. Like, what if I sell and it goes even higher? That's okay. Like scale out instead. Cool. Cool. Especially today with us knowing that it's a bit of a banking holiday, right? So you want to make sure that you're planning every aspect of, you know. I know that's also going to make some people hesitate because then if you sell, you can the cash is gone. But yeah, I'd rather you make monies, right? Consistency is the key, not massive gains. Consistency. Alrighty, cool, cool, cool. Good morning, courageous. Hello, Jason's been scalping this. Yeah, I like it, Jason. Yeah, that's a good scalp. Okay, give us more. Again, so do you guys kind of see what we're looking for at the open? Well, not necessarily at the open, like always. Look at this, right? So we talked about like, okay, that thing is popping at the open there. We don't always trust these stocks at the open, do we? No, we wanted to see that thing dip and consolidate, which it did, right? So people always asking, what does consolidation look like, right? Consolidation is when you drop and you're holding multiple candles in like an expected level, which we knew this level would kind of be, so, but it did consolidate and then the curl and then the breakout. So it looks really good, right? So the only question is how much volume do we have today to keep pushing, right? I hope a lot. But it's 26% already, so that does look good already. QNRX coming all the way back down, right? So that one's looking super sus there. Um, Everything else looks super sus except for this one, right? QNRX still looks okay though, but this is the best looking one, obviously. Obviously, you're still in at 63. Good job, Jerem. Well done. Yeah, see, up 10 cents in that position now almost. Good job. Yeah. So CM took half the gains, 50% at 72 cents. Good job. I like it. Keep pushing, please. We can use some more monies. The S&P is still kind of stuck in that range there, so I don't know if they're stalling it to drop it down or again if it's just gonna go sideways today because it is a banking holiday, right? Not quite sure what they're gonna do with that. Cool. So a high of 73 for now, almost 73 for MSPR, and then a drop. So maybe another retest of 65. We'll see. This is why we tell you to scale out, though, guys. This is why we tell you to again move your stop loss up or scale out. Why? Because yeah, because sometimes these things happen, right? Good morning, Emma. Hello, hello. 10% on two trades, Mohammed. Good job, Sandra. Give me a high five. Well done. Yeah. And when we do drop like this, it doesn't mean we're done for the day, right? By no means does this mean we're done, right? Stocks are meant to go up and come back down, so there's nothing wrong with this. It's just sometimes you want to scale out, right? Especially when you don't trust the markets. Can you take a look at, yeah, Dan, it might just be garbage all day today, unless we somehow break out or break down, which, we're testing the top again, but it might be potato today. Poopies. Yeah, might just be poopies. What's your position, T? What's your position in a maze? Let me know. Good job, Mohammed. Too slow, Sky? Yep. Yep, yep, yep. All right. So again, we picked a good stock. All right. The only question is how much volume do we have today? How much volume do we have? Okay. Good job, Lisa. Yeah, good job. So Lisa got in at 63, out at stop loss at 70, no more settled funds, so I'm paper trading for the rest of the day. Good job. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I'd rather, like, honestly, even if this thing runs without you, right? I'd rather you have a plan and make money than lose the gains because you wanted to stay in there all day, So, yeah. Again, there's nothing that I can look at on MSPR and say, oh yeah, no, this thing looks done for the day. There's nothing here, right? If anything else, it's giving us a retest and a higher low. So hopefully we can curl back. We don't know if the volume is gonna come through, but that's the hope, right? QNRX, yeah, coming back down to like it's a double bottom and also the 200 EMA and a demand zone. So if it can consolidate between 11.50 and $11, maybe there's something else here, up the bottom. So let's see. Cool. I'm gonna drop a line at the double bottom there. Yeah, and then again, obviously that 200 EMA. So this entire range here from 11.50 to $11. Let's see if it stays above. Alrighty. If not, LPSN is slowly creeping back up. Actually, the volume is coming in on LPSN. The only issue is you have a double top and a supply zone. MSPR still the best stock, right? So still the best looking stock. So here we go, right? Like I said, there's nothing you can look at for this stock and say, "Oh yeah, we're done," right? It looks done, right? No, there's nothing at all in this, right? It's just giving us a retest and a higher low, which is how stocks are supposed to work. Alrighty. So this looks good. This looks good. Okay, so 75, and then okay, let's see. I want to see if that candle actually closes above the double top. Do, 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 do. Okay. It's not on Schwab. Schwab doesn't seem to have a lot of things. Bought at 62, only 100 shares. My first, just feeling it out. Okay, there you go, AJ. Yeah, see? Welcome to the community, AJ. Yeah, look at that. AJ became a member yesterday, by the way, guys. He finally did it. See, AJ, you joined us. Now you're in at the right price. You're just feeling it out. Good job. Anyways, you're green, so stay green. Alrighty, stay green. We don't like to go from green to red. So if you don't have a stop loss, I will send you to ice. Alrighty, I know where you live now, so stay green. This looks really good. Stay green. Alrighty. Here we go. Here we go. It's because Ava is watching this and paper trading this, you know. Yeah. What do you do for a living? Yeah, it's right in the name. Yeah, it is on Schwab. It's on the mutual funds. That's a bit silly, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit silly. Peter bought at 60 cents and sold at 72 cents. Good job, Peter. I like it. Also, Peter, keep in mind you schedule the one-on-one, but you're not a Gold VIP member, so that one-on-one will be canceled. Right? You just so you know. Right? You can only get a one-on-one if you're a Gold member or a Gold VIP member. So yeah. Yep, exactly. 75 is a bit of a psychological level as usual, right, Felix? Um, that supply zone is a bit higher. I think this is from last week when we played with it, right? If you look to the left hand side, right there, 78, right? 78 was a bit of a problem, right? So right there. So I bet you they're just selling anywhere in that range now. So, but 75 is a psychological resistance level. So that's why we're having issues there. So from 75 to 78, that's your next little obstacle. Is it done for? Did it drop? Yeah, it's dropping to that 11 double bottom there. So let's see if it consolidates. If it doesn't consolidate, you stay away from it, right? So that's the level, right? So look to the left hand side, right? Right there, all the way across, right? So if it's not consolidating, you don't touch it. Yeah. She said, tell him to sell everything he owns and buy bull. Yes, I like it. I like it. Yeah, Peter. There you go. So SPY failed again, right? I don't know if there's enough volume today for breakouts in the markets, and BTC is looking like reverting back to its favorite mode, which is dip skis. Have you bought more dips, Yogi? BTC dips. Okay, so CAPT with the pop there. We mentioned LPSN, guys. This one's been slowly creeping up, but you're still kind of sitting at that double top. Alrighty, so $7 double top there. So it's gonna need to break above that level. Alrighty, so it kind of looks like it wants to, doesn't it? But it needs to break above first before anything else. And then again, the other name that's popped a bit, QNRX is kind of holding that level, right? That $11 retest. So maybe Jason is playing with this, right? So again, $11 double bottoms. QNRX needs to stay above that level. Cool, and it's trying at least for a little bit. The problem there is that 200 EMA is right above it too, so it has double the work to do. Double the work. CAPT is flying though, so that's looking good. CAPT. Captain. Captain said it's a slow day. Don't worry, guys. I got you. I got you. Yeah, nice little pop stem. Nice little pops. You did 11 to 11:25. I knew it. I knew it. See, I know some of you guys like the back of my hand, you know? I know Jason like the back of my hand now. I could look at any stock and I'm like, yup, Jason is in that one. Yup, yup, yup. Yup. I look at the one I look at the one that looks like that looks like this. And I'm like, yup, Peter, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. Dang, the market's just Bitcoin and the market's just popped. Like somebody said something. Yeah, someone just said something, huh? Maybe it's because we trashed it. Or maybe it's because they knew Peter, like, oh, Peter. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Ah, I'm kidding. Anyways, MSPR is retesting that 70 cents, so let's see if we stay above it. And then the markets are bouncing them. I think it's because Ava is holding some calls, you know. MTC, DP, are you back in MTC? I was trying to hold longer, and that was your mistake. More than candles, you lose. Yep, 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 yep. Yeah, that's a. Someone must have said something. Yeah, someone must have said something. Oh, Luna, I'll tell you. Microsoft, no, that was earlier today. I don't see any news on there. Hey, there is something Dan probably knows. Oh yeah, everything I see is a bit old. But yeah, Bitcoin said, "Thanks, guys. Boom skis. Spy isn't quite green yet." Yeah, you sold your puts. Oh, good pizza. Good job. Nice. Hope you sold before that pop though. MSPR is going to be super slow. LPSN guys, look at that thing, right? Nice little breakout on LPSN. Nice little break above $7 in the highs of the day. Not bad at all. 720. Not bad. Come on, MSPR. We need some more volume from you. We need some boom skis. These candles are way too slow. Oh, because of the pop? I don't know. People that are holding puts and should be green. I'm kidding. But yeah, I don't know if that pop is a scam or it kind of feels like a scam, doesn't it? Mm-mm-mm. This is the worst part of having a cash account. Yeah, but I would still rather you use a cash account though. You know, the uh, the uh, the negatives of a cash account, the positives outweigh the negatives to me, right? The negatives for margin account are way too high, way too high. I think 3 trades a week or something like that is criminal. Criminal. Anyways, we're back to 72 cents. So retest of 70 cents back to 72. We need that volume. And again, there you go, right? You know yourself, right, Jason? In and out, right? The only green candle off the double bottom, Jason scalped that and it dropped. So, um, not bad. I like it. Right? Don't get greedy. Over 25K, then you can use the margin account if you want to. As long as you're still using your own money, that's fine, right? So I think the beauty of having a margin account over 25K is then that you don't have to use the 25K. You should honestly not be using the 25K unless you're really confident, right? If you have 25K, 30K, 50K, I don't think there's any like you should ever be using, like you should be using that amount unless you really want to, unless you're confident and you have more experience, right? Then that's fine. But if you don't, you should take advantage of having a margin account, but still use, way below that, right? So, alrighty. Dang, come on, MSPR. What are you doing here? Yep. You never. No, you shouldn't be trading your full accounts. Basically, is what I'm saying. Let's go. Jacob says I'm wearing my hot trades hat I got the other day. I am in the money, taking making money making mode. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Yeah, there goes MSPR, right? Just way too slow. Way too slow, way too T-Rexy, right? So let's see if we can hold that 65 again, but yeah. Yep. There's nothing wrong with yeah. You stop that at 69. Okay. Yeah, as long as you're making money, so honestly. Right? Way too slow. And when it's stalling like that, people tend to start taking profits, right? It's just too slow. Too slow. To 70, good job, hype, right? 58 to 70. Good scalp. Very good scalp. Well done. So watch that 65 again for, maybe the next support. You got stopped at 65? Okay. Yeah. I think that was you already sold 50% to, at 72 or close to that. So that was good. Yeah, there you go. Sam sold at 75 from 66. My goal. Hit my goal. There you go, Sam. Well done. See? Love it. Yeah. Seriously, Dan. You made $95 realty. Good job. I like that. Yeah, like we don't need to be greedy with these names, right? We don't need to be greedy. We already know today is a bit of a suspicious day because, there's a lot of unsettled cash, right? So not sure how that affects the market if we're way too slow. So you definitely want to make sure you're not doing anything crazy. So today is not the day to get greedy, right? Scalp and lock in the monies. ENGN we had on here as well. Looks like ENGN is halted up. That thing just wanted us to not look at it. It's like, hey, don't look at me. You know what we don't want to look at? Maybe SPY today. Yeah, so ENGN is halted up. That thing halted up out of nowhere though. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you can see the consolidation, right? Nice little curl and then boom skis. So maybe there was a reason why we like this thing in the morning, right? This was our third name in the morning, right? So halted up at the double top. I kind of find that fishy though, like that being halted at the double top right below supply zone and the VWAP. So just be mindful, right? History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. Resistance one, resistance two. Always keep an eye on those levels. Alrighty, cool. Yeah. We do have a new member as well, Renell. Welcome to the community, Renell. Welcome. I'm gonna send you an invite. So click the link at the bottom of the chat, Renell, and follow the steps in the Getting Started channel. Alrighty. Click the link and follow the steps. Yeah. So you're in at 717, Barb. Okay. Try and stay green. Alrighty. Try and stay green because I'm not the biggest fan of your entry. Um, the entry is like midway from support to resistance, kind of midway, not fully midway, but yeah, you're green in that position. So try and stay green. Alrighty, so 750 resistance on LPSN. 750. See what happens when this one gets unhalted. MSPR still playing with 65 there. This one obviously this thing just nothing, garbage, right? Again, I keep telling you guys, most of the time, like when a stock goes below the 200 EMA, if you simply stayed away from that stock, you would have no regrets, right? Most of the time. Sometimes you're gonna have regrets of like, oh dang it came all the way back up and went boom skis, right? To me, when a stock drops below the 200 EMA and it goes back up, so you see this little area right there, that's the death cross, right? Not like the definition of a dead cross from a technical point of view, but whenever I see a stock drop below and it tries to go back there and it gets rejected, that's it. They're gonna slap that stock, right? So I think look at this one as well. Look at QNRX, right? The exact same thing here. When you drop below the 200 EMA, that's fine. That's not the end of it, right? Even though we say that it is, it's not always the end. The end is when we drop below and we try to go back up and it gets rejected. You're done, right? Yeah. Did Madison Renell? I thought Renell no Renell signed up for the legend level. So Renell is good. Alrighty. So when you do that, Finished. LPSN is looking nice. So again, that 750 is still your resistance though. Alrighty. So still your resistance. MTC. So 750 resistance then, and it's failing at 750 for now, right? So if you took a quick scalpy there, that would have been nice. There you go. I like that a lot. Yeah, 45. I like it. At least for now, right? I like that. So good job. Your entry was suspicious. You realized that and you saw that resistance, right? Beautiful. Cool. What's your position, Broly? What's your position in MSPR? Let me know. ENGN is still halted up. QNRX is looking like doo doo, and this one's kind of consolidating, right? Up 240. So again, I know some of you guys are still watching this, right? Third. So if you're watching this, try and stay above 240. If it can stay above 240, maybe there's a chance. Ready? Yeah, we're dropping all the way back down to that 62. So if this is something you're interested in, let it consolidate first. Alrighty. So this was that first retest at the open, right? So again, between 60 and 62, that level doesn't look bad, but you need it to prove to you that it's actually going to hold that level, consolidate. Alrighty. So this level is going to be interesting for MSPR. Yeah, it does. None of your cash settled, Sam. You made money though, right? You hit your goal. So yeah, if you hit your goal, then I wouldn't worry about your money, not being settled. Right? You're in a really good position there. Yeah. Yeah, no, we were watching Rain when it went to $10. Yeah, there goes ENGN, guys. Damn. Sheesh. That thing said, don't worry about me. And it's halted up again. Damn. Sheesh. ENGN said, hello, guys. Hello, hello, hello. That thing is flying. My goodness. Do, 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 do. At 62. Okay, let's see if we can stay above that level then. So try like you're not in at a bad range at all, super. So we just need to curl up that level, right? So you're slightly green on that position, and it's a good spot, right? So hopefully we can stay above it. Look at turd, right? Turd looks like garbage, right? So absolute disaster. So L E LPSN is going back for that 750. So let's see if we can break above this time. Cool. See if we can get a breakout this time. I'd almost go right below 60, unless you want to give it more room, right? But yeah, that 200 EMA should almost be like your last line in the sand there. CAPT is still kind of playing with the supply zone, so that doesn't look amazing. We can't seem to break above 750 on this thing. Just can't seem to do it, right? $7.50 can't seem to break out. And then MSPR is trying to crawl up that 62. Ready? You do have a lot of shares too, though, so keep that in mind. Let's go, McGregor. Okay. Copy. Yeah, you have a whole bunch of homework, McGregor. So I'm gonna send you some stuff, and then we'll go from there. Yeah. You outstay green and happy Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to you as well, Jason, and everybody else. Yeah. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Yeah, it's trying to give you that bounce, right? Super, which is good. So your entry was good. You're almost back to 64. You need a nice pop, though. A nice pop. A nice pop. And look at LPSN, right? This is why we tell you, like, sometimes when you see that there's a problem, you listen to the chart, right? So clearly there was a problem right there. And we've always said this, like, it's very rare that you see a stock just crash out of nowhere, unless there's negative news, right? Usually there's warning signs like, hey, I have a problem, what are you gonna do, what are you gonna do, what are you gonna do, and then slap, right? But then you can't sit there and say, oh, but I didn't know, oh my gosh, no, right? It was right there. MSPR has done a really good job off that bottom, right? So that was kind of the range, so that was perfect. Let's see if we can get back above 65 though, because 65 is going to be your next little obstacle there as well. So EPSM is also halted up. Okay. So Super, you should be nice and green though with 80,000 shares. I think did you buy 8,000 shares or 80,000 shares? $65. Yep. Nice short scalp. Exactly. Good job, Jose. 80,000. Yeah, see, there you go. You're at 66 now. So you should be, every penny that goes up is a lot of monies for you, right? So really good entry. Give me a high five. I like it. And stay green. Alrighty. Don't go red. With that amount, you should be scaling out on the way up. Should be scaling out on the way up. Right. So there was a nice pop here, ENGN. It's unfortunate though that like it runs like that, because and holds, because that doesn't really give us an opportunity unless you were paying attention to this one already, which it was on the watch list, right? So pops like these are nice, but it can be frustrating as well if you're not in them. So 1022, and then obviously there's a supply zone, right? There you go, 1080. Oof, ENGN is cooking there. My days, 1111, guys. Did anybody take a chance on this and FOMO? Damn. My goodness. Is it halted at 1113? It looks like it's halted, but it's not. So there we go. So yeah, again, if you're in stuff like that, make sure you pay yourself on the way up. Yeah, exactly, our team, right? When you're playing with, like, when every penny is $800 for you, then yeah, you don't want to sit there and and wait for boomskis, right? You want to take those gains because those are nice monies. I can't believe you bought 80,000 shares. My goodness. Entry TV. The FOMO here would have been a break above the double top, right? Other than that, at this point, you're just waiting to see if the chart can give you a level of consolidation somewhere. Yeah. That's a pretty nice pop, and you don't want to be FOMOing at random spots like that. Um, the music just died. So why? Because it wasn't plugged in. Smoked? Yeah, there you go. That's why. That's why, right? So we're still in that same range, right? So the problem here is every time we create levels like these guys, they become support and resistance levels, right? So look at this, right? When we have support at 65, right? When we go below 65, on the way back up, that level becomes your new resistance, right? So, but yeah, so that becomes a problem again. Let's see if we can stay above that 200 EMA and go from there. Cool. QNRXs look like garbage, right? When you go below the 200 EMA, you are garbage, right? Turd looks like garbage. When you go below the 200 EMA, you are garbage. Turd looks like garbage, right? So, surprise, surprise, not really. Not really, right? Where's the 200 EMA, guys? All the way up there. You see how much of a headache you would save yourself if you sold these positions or didn't get into stocks below the 200 EMA? Can you imagine the stress? Right? There's someone somewhere watching this right now, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, please go back up, please, 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 please go back up, please, pretty please, please." I hope. Nope, to the abyss. There is someone somewhere holding this for sure. Why? Because it had such a good run. When it has a good run like that, people tend to just jump in on the dips, right? But this is not a dip. This is garbage, right? Garbage. So, when a stock goes below the 200 EMA, it is garbage. The only time you touch a stock below the 200 EMA, the only time is when you see that it's consolidating there for a long time, right? It's sitting there and it's like, "Oh, okay. There's a nice base, there's nice support," right? That was you 2 weeks ago. There you go, right? Don't play with that garbage unless you see that it's found in good base, right? And then ENGN, maybe don't buy in the supply zone, right? Never try and catch a falling knife. Yeah, the reason I say the 200 EM is too is because it makes it a lot easier. Because sometimes people are like, "What's a falling knife?" So like, um, yeah. So we shall see. CYCU guys is retesting that 350 resistance. So maybe it's gonna break out this time. Last time it couldn't break and hold, right? There was a nice yellow candle there, but it couldn't break and hold. So CYC is retesting 350 again. Wonder if it's actually going to break this time. It's actually going to break this time. Uh, then ENGN came back and retested the 9, so curling back up there. There we go. Now, as long as it stays above that 9 EMA, the blue line. MSPR still holding that 60 cents, guys. Right? It does look a bit suspicious. Super, did you take your gains or you're still in it? Yeah, let me take a look at MTC. Captain doesn't look horrible, but yeah. And then this one was clearly resistance, right? Like clearly resistance. And there's no two yeah. Anyways, MTC. Did anybody play with Beyond Meat earnings yesterday? MTC does look good, doesn't it? Yeah. Nice looking chart. Let me look at the 15-minute chart here. Yeah, there you go. So you can see that resistance from yesterday, right? DP. So it does look really good though. Why? Because of that bottom, right? You could see the bottom from yesterday at the 200 EMA on the 15-minute chart. This was a solid demand zone, right? So off 220, that was perfect for MTC. Actually, this level goes back to last Friday. So Friday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, and today, right? So 250 has been a really nice base, right? Your next resistance is right. We're kind of where we're sitting at for now. So if it can push above 270 and stay above 270, that would be good because then you're potentially looking for $3, 320 after that. So Let's see if it can break and close above that level for MTC. But it does look good though. DP, good job. Yeah, yeah, it does look good. That, again, that's the 15-minute chart, right? So the fact that it has the same bottom from Friday is pretty nice. Yeah, very very nice. Very, very nice. MSPR still holding that 60 cents, guys. The 200 EMA we talked about, right? So we said between 62 and 60 cents, that's your support for now. So it's fighting. Again, I don't know if it has the volume to fight, but it is fighting for now. So that is good, right? Again, keep in mind, this is the 15-minute chart for MTC. So if I switch over to the 1 minute, you should see a lot more green candles. Yeah, so there you go. Right, so those candles do look nice, and it's trying to push them. Yeah, struggling but fighting. Mo. Struggling but fighting. CYCU is breaking above $3.50. Alrighty, CYCU. Big seller at 10.19. There you go. Big seller. So this thing doesn't seem like it's holding above 350 yet, though, does it? Not quite yet. And then here goes a nice green candle for MSPR, 65 almost. So we're retesting 65 again, right? You're in at 235. Beautiful. Good job. I like it. So again, we know 65 is our resistance for MSPR, so it needs to break above that level. Needs to break above that level. Alrighty, needs to. So 65 is your resistance. The super sell the position. I don't know if he or she they responded. Good profits, Jose on turret. Good job, nice. Yeah. Where did you short at? What was your short entry? Nobody make a short joke. Unbelievable. uh yeah, no, it wasn't able. CYCU wasn't able to break and close above 350, so you're still playing with resistance. MSPR still playing with 65 resistance. Everything just wants to play with resistance today. Yeah. 1020 bail just in time. Good job. When you play with something like that, it has to be quick in and outs. 60. Yeah, there you go, Yogi. Yeah, exactly. So that's 60 to 62 for MSPR. Good spot for support, right? It does need to break out though, because the more we fail and we create those lower highs, the more people tend to not buy when we go back down to support and then you break below. So ENGN still playing with the 9 EMA, the blue line, and the MSPR still fighting here, 65. There we go. Come on. Go, 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 go. Yep. Even the low hanging fruit is above your head. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Unbelievable. Yeah, no, you can clearly tell 65 is a problem. We need someone to buy the entire float. Yeah. These guys seem to have earnings tomorrow. So definitely not a swing play. Unless you're confident that they're gonna beat earnings. Unless you are confident. Mm, Do, 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 do. Today or tomorrow? I would like that. That would be nice. I prefer like right now though, you know? Yeah. If you're asking if something is a good hold for the next few months, you have to do the research, right? You never want to be in a position where you're asking somebody else if you should keep your money somewhere for a few months ever, right? um, take responsibility of your monies, even if that person has a lot of experience and is supposed to know more than you, right? I don't think, like, whenever you're looking for a play where you're parking your money for months, because at that point it's a long-term play, right? If you're going to keep your money somewhere, you have to go do that research, right? You can ask for like technical levels and stuff like that, but when it comes to, yeah, you know what I mean? Because that's how people hold AMC for a year and don't make any money, you know. There goes that 65 fail, guys. Right? Look at that. Yeah. Look at that 65-cent fail. So that 65 cents is a problem. So that thing has work to do. Time to bury this dead cat. Uh, the good thing is that you know where that support is at. So we're just going back and forth for now. Don't diss AMC. Still waiting for a trillion? It's coming. Trust me, bro. The shorts have to cover, Raven. Yeah, there's a nice pop there for that Japan stock LFS. Yep. DC, yeah. Nice little pop. MTC is clearly stalling at that resistance. CYCU is still trying to break and close above. It actually did break and close above. That supply zone is still there though, so it would need to get back above 3,355 to clear that supply zone. Break and close above it. LFS. There's no news for this thing, and the volume is less than 50,000 shares. So the volume is slowly coming in now, but that thing came out of nowhere with no volume. Out of nowhere with no volume. Hmm. Very interesting. Yeah, just be careful with stuff like that. When it runs with no volume, you want to be very careful. DC, hopefully you're ready. MTC is looking really nice though. Very, very nice MTC. Is anybody holding MTC? I know DP is holding that. Anybody else holding MTC in the chat? GLTO is also pushing there. So that one from yesterday, right? GLTO. Yeah, that's a nice pop. See if we can get back about $20 though. I think yesterday we were looking for this thing to open this morning, and it just didn't look good in the morning, right? So just did not look good. Yes, MTC, nice. Yeah. Hopefully you guys are all in closer to $2, right? Yeah, that was a really good base on this thing. Really good base. Really good base. Yeah, Nancy, Anthony, good job. Good jobs. MSPR is still doing its thing, testing 60 cents, bouncing back about 60 cents, right? Back to 63 cents already. So we're just kind of going back and forth for now on this thing until it really decide what it wants to do. So make sure you have a good stop loss in case it doesn't do what you want it to do, please. Pretty please. MTC just hit a brand new high on that last candle and then came back down. Yep, a lot of hype. Yep. I mean, that's most of these names, though. Like we play these names usually based on. It's usually based on hype. You know. Yeah, MTC is looking good. 2.80. Since when have yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. But that's usually when we're looking for, longer investments, and then we care. Usually we don't. Let's see. Is there anything else that we're interested in? Mm-mm-mm. 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 Okay. And MSPR is just this thing is testing the patience. Yep, CYCU is so slow too. Like that was a good breakout, just very slow, very very slow. Chris, stream lagging. Is it lagging for anybody else, or is it just frozen? It's fine. Yeah, thank you, Pyro. Thank you. Yeah, usually when I have a problem, it tells me that I have a problem. So if it's lagging, it's not me, it's you. I'm kidding. LFS is popping back up again. So testing $3. LFS. This has nothing to do with me, Raven. Nothing at all. Even Pyro's thing is working fine. Okay. Yeah, the volume in this one is super low, so just be mindful. $3 resistance. Hey yo, Efren. Uh, what's your position in YYAI? Let me know. I'll take a look. Let me know what your position is though. So it looks like we're retesting a breakout there, 9:30 for ENGN. Wouldn't it be so nice if MSPR just cooked? Like, come on, we just need something to cook. Come on. Why is everything looking so sus today? Why? The now it's still trending down. There you go. I think Raven answered your question, Shop. You have calls for 12/19, so December 19. What's the strike on those calls, Virtuous, and how green or red are you? Peter, your stream is working. You just like problems, don't you? Is your stream not working, Peter? Tell me, does your stream have a problem? Let me take a look at plug. You're down $500. You're down $500. $4 strike December 19, and you're down $500. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. When you play with stuff like plug, stuff that's as heavy as, I don't know what's heavy, guys. If you play When you play with stuff like this, you almost have to play with leaps more than like, yeah, because I bet you, you bought this thing on the way up. If you're down $500 on plug, you probably bought this thing on the way up, right? Probably. That's the only way. Yeah. So, Luna, there you go, right? This would have been a better spot for you, right? That would have been a better spot for you. You definitely bought this thing on the way up. Yeah, basically a lotto ticket. Okay. As long as you understand that. See, this is sometimes what 115 contracts. Jesus Christ on a motorbike. Um, I'm gonna use Virtus, to make an example, right? So if I say, hey, Virtus, come join us in Discord, come learn charts, come learn, come hang out with the option crew, right? Virtus is gonna say, I don't have monies, but Virtus is down $500, right? Entire year of membership on a Lotto play for plug in a position that you should have never been in the first place, right? Virtus, if I find you straight to ICE, you're gonna get deported straight to jail, right? But that's what a lot of people do. They're not willing to invest in education. They're willing to lose money first, though, right? Yeah, I know, Virtus, I know, right? So you're willing to lose $500 on a gamble play, but you're not willing to educate yourself and learn the right way to do it, right? So yeah, that's as long as you understand that it's a lotto, right? So you're fine. It doesn't make you live under the bridge, then that's okay. Jesus Christ on a motorbike. Unbelievable. Let me take a look at YYAI here. The average is 1275. See, oof, Jesus Christ. What's going on, guys? You guys, what's going on? What's going on? Average, because you held into the split, that's why. So they split it, and then your average price spiked all the way up. Lord have mercy. Average is $12. The price is $1. Yep, held the split. I mean, the only positive here though is that the float is smaller now, right? So maybe if this thing can hold $1, one of these days maybe they shoot it up to $10, right? It's possible. We've seen it happen, but at this point, you're in the same boat on the same bridge as Virtus, right? There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing I can do to help you. Zero. I cannot help you in any way like possible. You just have to pray. So next Sunday, go to church and pray. GLTO is looking good, yeah. So let's see if we can stay above $20 this time. Yep, that's it. There's really nothing else. Hope and pray, right? And again, usually when a stock does a split, at some point it pops. At some point it pops. So hopefully for you, it pops at some point. Alrighty. BKYI, yeah, slow and steady, nothing crazy, super slow, but yeah. MSPR, yeah, it's a good thing that it found the base, but where's the damn volume? What happened to all the monies? Seriously, Dan. Yeah, again, you know how they say 90% of traders lose, but then we see people make decisions like these, like it's decisions like these ones, and it's like it's not your fault. Sometimes we just don't know any better, right? Like if you bought, a name like any of those names we just looked at, and you said, hey, this is my 10% stop loss. How many times do we say like, hey, max stop loss 10%, guys, 8 to 10% max stop loss, right? 8 to 10%. You know how many accounts that would have saved, right? Just some of the simple things we do in this community that seem like, oh, that's so simple. Like, hey, put a stop loss, like, hey, wait for consolidation. Hey, wait for this. Wait for a demand zone, right? Don't buy the red zone. Some of the really simple stuff that you guys, like we make, like we do, seem really simple. That's 90% of why people lose. You know, like, how do you hold the stock and you're down 90%? What were you waiting for? You're waiting for your grandma to come back and bake cookies for you, so you could feel good and sell. No, like the trade, not your account, right? Not definitely not your account. The position you're in, right? What happens when you start, if you take a 10% loss, 8% loss, 5% loss continuously, what's gonna change is you're gonna realize you kind of suck, right? Your entries kind of suck. You don't suck, your entries suck, right? If you're constantly taking losses, you're gonna come to your realization like, hey, my entries really suck. I need to do better, right? I need to do better, right? But at that point, you're like, you know what? I take 5% loss, 8% loss, okay, you know what? Let me change this around, right? Let me fix something here, right? But if you're sitting in that one position and you're down 90%, 50%, guess what? It doesn't matter that you realize you suck, you're done because you blew it, you know? Yeah. Anyways, Dan says, would you handle a nuclear reactor control rod without having the education to do it safely? Same with trading. Education is key. Perfect, Dan. Thank you for the super chat. I'm gonna leave that up there so you can read it over and over. Right. So, yeah. Alrighty. Yeah. It's begging, isn't it? It's like, please, can I bounce? Yeah, you can bounce. You just have to do it. Right, so again, like, honestly, just like the simple rules, guys, the simple rules, the simple rules, like what another one of my pet peeve is when someone's asking me where to put a stop loss after the stock is down 50% already. I hate that so much, right? Hey, I bought at $8, it's currently at 99 cents, where do I put my stop loss? I'm like, you can put it on my grandma's head. Okay. Next time you think of asking a question like that, you know what the answer is gonna be. Put it on my head or my grandma's head. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I bought the stock at $20. It's at $2 now. Where do I put my stop loss? Right. So again, it's like the simple things. If you realize, and that's just, like, if you realize you're struggling with something, like, take a piece of paper, especially over the weekend, right? Like, over the weekend, take a piece of paper and write down some rules, like, what did I struggle with this week, right? Like, that's it. You just have to find a way to improve. Honestly, there's no other choice, right? I didn't educate myself before walking onto the strip. Yes, pizza, right? um so if you're struggling with entries or with stop losses, that you can look at those trades and say, hey, like, okay, you know what, it looks like I keep buying the top, maybe next time I need to do this instead, okay, like, I keep taking big losses. What seems like the ideal stop loss, right? Okay, let me write that down, again, sometimes we don't know any better, and it's like, it's not your fault, but like, it's your fault if you keep making the same mistake, though, right? If you make the same mistake every day, it's your fault, right? You know what, guys? I keep taking like $1,000 losses. Maybe let me try a max loss of $200, $500, right? Let me try that. Let's see if that helps me a little bit. You know, okay. You know what? I keep struggling. Let me go paper trade for a little bit. I need to come up with a system, right? So, you need to write something down. You need to write something down, right? You need to write something down. You need to come up with some rules for yourself. You know, like, you need to do something. Alrighty, and if you need help, then ask for help. Right? Ask for help. Alrighty, please, pretty please. Deal. Again, look at this account, right? Look at this account. Right? You guys have seen this already. Yeah, MSPR got slapped. It's because of that 65, right? If it can't break above 65, then it's a problem, right? Look at that account, right? Look at that account. So, so if this person came up with some rules for themselves and said, "Hey, my max loss is 10%." Look at the money they save, guys. Look at this, right? Look at that, right? First position minus 83%, second position minus 97, third position minus 80, minus 85, minus 94, minus 99, minus 98, minus 99, minus 99.98. Look at that, guys, right? So that's someone I had a one-on-one with, and this was us looking at the account. And right away you can tell what the problem is. You're like, up, 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 up. You see the problem. How you missed that stock. BVIG, right? When you do stuff like this, right, you're not understanding the whole concept of of the markets, right? So this screenshot, take a look at this screenshot, and then remember the losses, right? The secret is not winning all the time. The secret is not to lose the least amount possible when you're wrong, right? Yeah. Yep. Exactly, Efren. Exactly. Yep. Stop sharing private things I sent you. Pizza, right? So I promise you guys, we're gonna be all wrong so many times it's not even funny. So many times it's not even funny. If you take 10 trades, I promise you, if you take 10 trades, I promise you, you're gonna have some losses in those 10 trades, guaranteed, right? For the most part, not a guarantee, I guess, right? So for the most part, you're gonna take some losses, right? But I've also seen people like take 10 trades, right? Nine of those trades, money, print. The last trade, they're unable to manage it and they lose all the gains because they're greedy, right? So take smaller losses. Alrighty? Take smaller losses. MTC does look good, yeah. Cool. So like as much as we tell you to use stop losses and they're annoying, use them because they're gonna save you. Cool. And if your stop losses always hit, you need to work on your entries. Your entries kind of suck. Alrighty. So how did you not learn after the first couple? This is like it's a human condition, right? So yeah, right? It's like minus 90, minus 80, minus 99, right? Like, how do you not learn from that? It's just like a lot of people do this. I'm just showing you as an example, not, a lot of people do this, right? Even if it's one, right? Yeah, there goes MTC again. So that's looking very good. DP smiling. Good job, DP. No, we definitely want you to win, right? Minus 99.99. It's because the stock probably it went straight to the abyss. Down, 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 down. Yeah, some people have the this time will be different mentality. Yeah, but they're just hoping, and that's not the winning strategy. Exactly, Dan. This time it's gonna be different, right? This is why I keep telling you too, like, you have to have a system, a plan of your own. You can't just be listening to people on social media, right? If you look at that list on if you look at that list we just showed you, all of those stocks were being hyped by somebody, by a group of people, right? And we played with it as well, right? You just have to know when to walk away, right? Like, when you go to work, nobody goes with you. You go on your own. You show up to the office, your boss says, "Welcome, welcome, welcome." Like, "Thank you. I'm here to make monies." And then you make the monies and then you bring it to the market, right? And then you listen to idiots on social media, right? Way too many people do that, right? Look at Beyond Meat as an example, right? A lot of people were jumping into Beyond Meat at $7, $8, $5 because some idiots were saying, "Oh, we're going to $20, right? We're going to this price." No, like that person never showed up to work with you. So you listen to people when the technicals, the chart confirms that decision, right? You listen to somebody, anybody, when the chart confirms that decision, right? And we say that we like for let's use Beyond Meat, right? We kept saying Beyond Meat has no red flags. Beyond Meat looks good from $1, $2, $3, $4. We don't see any warning signs, but when there are warning signs, we're gonna tell you, right? And even if we don't tell you, you need to have a stop loss because I promise you, there's somebody else holding a bag on that position as well, right? So you have to, yeah, yup. We didn't have the wonderful tools like Discord and this community and the algo and exactly then, exactly, right. Let's go, Seven Sun. Welcome back. I think you're renewing your membership. Yeah, there you go. Welcome back, Seven Sun. I think you're. Let me know if you need the link. It should update on its own in a second or so. Has screwed me to you, Chloe. Yup. 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 Yeah, no, I think with trading, guys, you have to get to a point where you're like, hey, I follow this plan. What's in the box? um, at some point, when it comes to trades, you have to get to a point where you're like, hey, if you want to be consistent over a long period of time, you cannot rely on. I'm hoping, you can't just rely on showing up to the market and say, hey, what looks good today? No, you have to come up with somewhat of a system that, like, you can use and it's fairly consistent, right? So that's what you have to get to that point. You have to get to a point where you're not completely like just following people. You see an idea from again, the community is amazing for that, right? Like the bot is amazing, the people are amazing, right? But when you get that idea, you have to have a system around that to use it. Alrighty. Hope is not a strategy. Why is the gold membership sold out? I don't know. It's sold out. I don't know, Sahel. It's sold out. The only level that's available if you need one-on-ones is the gold VIP level. Yep. Before you even buy, have a set in and an out. Yep. Exactly. Wrinkle. Exactly. And none of this guarantees money, right? It's just there to protect you. You know, you can do everything right and still lose. Actually, there was a screenshot. MTC is flying there. Yeah. Come on. Go 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 go. Good job, Matt. I like it. Yeah, that was a very good scalp. Very very good scalpy. There's a little bit of a supply zone there. A bit of a supply zone. There was a screenshot that I posted yesterday, right? That said, I'm gonna share that on stream as well. RJ over the edge. Hey yo, RJ, thank you for the super sticker. I don't know if you have a question. You most likely do. So most likely have a question. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. So this screenshot, it's loading, taking its sweet time, taking its sweet time. So just let it load. Yeah, MTC's had a really good run. This one, right? Which I thought was interesting. Wait, what did Pizza say? What did Pizza do now? Indeed, hope is not a strategy. Let's hope you get taller. Not happening. Wow. Wow. Anyways, so good trades can end with large wins, a large win, a small win, break even, and a small loss, right? Like you can do everything right and still lose money, but then you have to not take it personal because you had a system that you followed, right? So I thought that was a good screenshot. Not every good trade is going to be a win, but you just have to understand, like, hey, I did everything I was supposed to. It didn't work. You know, didn't work. I'm not going to take it personal because the next time I do it, it's going to work. You know. Look good, MTC. Anybody make nice gains in MTC today? Anybody? I know Matt got it in the 90s and then sold above 3, so good jobs. Yep, exactly, Peter. Exactly. And I keep telling people too, like, I promise you, around this community, it's all like the gambles we take or the stocks we look at are usually really close to the stock that's gonna go boom ski, right? Usually very close. Like if we're looking at 2, 3 names, the monster is in one of those names usually, right? Most of the time we can pick the name, right? Most of the time we pick the name. So if you're in something that isn't working and you cut it and you're like, dang it, I took a 10% loss. Guess what? The next one, 100% gainer, right? Or the next one, 100% gainer, or 50% gainer, or 20% gainer, right? So around this community, you're gonna do well. You just have to make sure that when you're in that one stock that isn't doing well, you don't sit there and pray. Alrighty. But yeah, so MTC, nice little pop there, and then a drop. Um, MSPR, right? So this one had a good run, right? A lot of you guys sold in the 70s. If you sold MSPR in the 70s, type yes in the chat. Most of you guys did, right? So that's why we said scale out or put a stop loss, right? If you sold MSPR close to the top there, type yes in the chat. Because I know more than half of you guys did, which is amazing, right? So you either sold all the way up there, or you took some gains and you put a stop loss on the rest. After that, rubbish, right? Rubbish. 50%, yup. Right. So a lot of you guys did. And that's just it, right? When you see a problem, you make a decision, guys. You don't sit there and say, but that guy on Twitter said it was gonna go to $1. Well, that guy on Twitter wasn't with you shooting in the gym, was he? Mm-mm. So yeah. How long do you want to hold that thing? Exactly, Dennis. Yep. Sky, there you go. And when you know that, you have to lock in those gains quicker, right? So when we're in the you like when we're in that market where everything is cooking, guys, you can be a little bit more, like you can have like loose rules. When you're in a market where nothing seems to be going up and pumping and staying up there, then you have to be willing to take those gains quick. Yep, exactly, defined. Exactly. There's always that element of luck, always that element of luck with these trades. But at the same time, you get lucky because you were doing the right things, like, oh, we were looking for this demand zone, it was consolidating, oh, we got lucky because it pumped, right off the 200 EMA. Oh, we got lucky because, but that's also because we've seen it happen so many times, right? So we do it, oh, we played the breakout, right? So not just randomly jumping in at a random spot and then praying for luck, because ice will show up instead. uh yeah, we were using that all, Joel. That was the phrase in high school, yeah. When someone asked you for something, you're like, you weren't with me shooting in the gym. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. So MSPR, watch for close to 50 cents there. There's a new demand zone, right, between 55 and 53. So see if it consolidates in that range and bounces again at some point. CYCU has just been, just chilling there. ENGN is consolidated really nicely. Actually, this was good. Look at that, guys. Look at this. Look at that. Right. This is the luck we talk about, right? So look at that resistance. You see it? Now look at the breakout. You see it? Now look at the retest. You see it? Now look at the pop. You see it? That's what luck is, right? Luck is when you're actually ready for something, right? And would you expect this to happen? Yes. Why? Because we know that happens all the time, right? We have resistance, breakout. When we break out, what happens? Usually we come back for the retest of that level, right? And when we consolidate at that level, what happens? Well, we at least get something out of it. right? So that's $9.30 to $9 to almost $10, right? That's not a bad scalp, right? So ENGN has done a good job there. Anybody scalp ENGN? I think CM scalped this one. CM? Sohail, you scalped it? Good. There you go. Anybody else scalp that? Because that would have been nice. You're still in there? See? Telling you. I know some of you like the back of my hand, you know? Yeah. Uh, okay. 299. Not a good entry, you know. Seems to work out for now. MTC. Yes. You're green. So yeah, let's see if that thing can push above that supply zone for you. I mean, it seems to be the best performing name for now. Seems to be the best performing name for now. So yep, let's hope you can get another nice pop there. MSPR is kind of holding that level, guys, right? So that 55 cents, right? So a little bit of a base, some support back to 57, and then MTC is at 308. So there you go, Miguel. You're green. Peter, I knew the markets would get slapped since Peter sold those damn puts. Peter, you see what happens? You see, this giving. Yep. No, it was yeah. Yeah, it was just the phrase that we picked out of the song. Everybody was using that at soccer, so you know. Pizza, go play on the freeway. uh Anyways, yeah, Spy's retesting the 200 and the view app. Cool. And then again, ENGN still holding the bottom there, so that's nice. And yeah, wow. You see how rude Peter is, guys. Tells me to go play on the freeway. Who does that? There you go, Sky. Little scalpies. Uh, Unbelievable. I know, right? Pyro, you see this? Unbelievable. Uh, don't forget to smash a like, guys, if you haven't already, please and thank you. Yeah, take a second, smash a like. At least half of you smash a like. Let's get to 200 likes. So again, take a second, smash a like, hit that subscribe if you're new, and this gets about yeah. MTC X, MTC, ENGN, and then one of the other names. One of the other names, whichever one decides to go, because they all look suspicious. The real rent, the real. What is that, Dane? Yep, $10 is most likely acting as a bit of an obstacle there, right? So, what's the ticker symbol on that? Yeah, what's the ticker symbol? Yeah, so $10 is resistance for this thing. Jay? Okay. Yeah. Supply zone stall. There you go. Ice cream monies. GLTO still chilling around the 200 and the 50. I don't know why SPY is on here, but we need to get rid of it. Uh, you're gonna try to G? Are you sure? Are you sure? It's up 30% today. What's the symbol though? I think I know what stock you're referring to. The this once we look at the is it this one? Yeah, this one. Uh, looks good. Actually, looks really good. It looks like they beat earnings. That's why. Yeah, that thing's been looking good for a long time though. Are you in this one or no? Yeah, it looks really really good. Would I be buying this thing now? No, thank you. Right? Because I bet you $15 is coming up as resistance, and then $17 next. You're in it? Okay, nice. Yeah, if you're already in it, then that's a different story because it looks good. Yeah, it does. X. It does. Definitely does. 24. Okay, and then MTC. That supply zone is yeah, not amazing. CYCU. Yeah, you can also see the red zone, right? So again, like sometimes just by looking at the red zone, guys, you know, sometimes just by looking at the red zones, you can tell like, hey, we have a problem. ENGN, look at that, right? You can clearly see, right? So again, $10 is clearly resistance. And it's not like, oh my goodness, but why? No, you can see that it's failing at the damn resistance, right? For a long time, right? You're stalling. It's the T-Rex. Stall, slap, right? So that shouldn't be a surprise. And hopefully no one's yeah. This is also the importance of having a stop loss, right? Because there's no way you can sell quick enough on that drop. No way. Everything's kind of looking sus. MTC, yeah, retesting the 280. Yep, exactly. You have to secure the profits. Have to secure the profits. Dang, it's really slow, really early. I think it's because like the market is, it's like people are like don't have enough cash. We still have another hour, guys, and everything is so slow already. Already. Anyways, yeah, we'll give it another hour and then hop off and go back to Discord. Alrighty. We shall give it another hour and then hop off. Dinosaurs? No, we like it. That's why we use the T-Rex. Yeah. You like works? Let me pull up works. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. Super slow and then resistance, right? Super slow and then resistance. Yeah. No one is using the Heikinashi candle, but me and Blaze. No, I think most of the chat uses the Heikinashi candle. If you use the Heikinashi candle, type yes in the chat. I think almost the entire chat does. Right? I think it works well for momentum stocks. If you're trading other stuff though, then you don't have to. Like if you're playing with futures and other stuff, right? Like you definitely don't have to. I think it's nicer when you're using. Yeah, see, like most of the chat does. Yeah. Yeah, it works. It works. Like it's almost like it's a momentum candle. It's built for what we do, right? So yeah, yeah. Works doesn't look bad. Super slow, but yeah, not bad. Peter, have a great day as well. and later already. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Dan. Exactly. So it looks like MTC came back to retest the last breakout there, and it kind of held for now. So $2.80 is holding. Again, MSPR hopefully can stay above the 50s there, right? The mid to low 50s. And this one, CYCU, as much as it's annoying, it keeps going back up to 450. So maybe someone wants it to go. Maybe we'll see. Yep. Yeah. Sock monkey. Yeah. Yep. 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 Hmm. Okay. 50% of the yeah. Probably why it was slow. Probably why. Probably why we are slow. Mm, okay. 353. Heal. Quick scalpy. There you go. Yeah, you almost took a gamble of the 200 there. That's not bad. Not bad at all. You just started using it. You love it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and I've used the Haikinashi since like forever. Since forever. Yep, RDGT. MTC still holding. Yeah, you can tell like we have some good charts that if there was volume today, some of these names would have cooked. Cooked. Yep. Frozen, it is trying to curl. Dan? uh, Dan, I'm gonna save that. Oh my days. That was amazing. Don't worry, when Rob shows up on stream, he is screwed. uh, uh, that is amazing. You need to delete that, Dan, so we can surprise him. Okay, I'm gonna upload it on stream. Oh, that's too amazing. There we go. It's on. SJ, what's your position in BAK? Let me know. What's your position? $15, Dane. Right. Just make sure you have a stop loss though, and then move it up instead. Yeah. uh, you guys want to see it? So this was Rob in Vegas, guys. Look at this. uh, yep, we're gonna use that for everything else too. Oh, this is amazing. Amazing. There goes our CYCU, right? Like that thing looks good. It just needs the volume. ENGN, nice pop off the 200. Ah. Yep. Okay. Look at that. CYCU. Look at that, guys, right? There's just no follow through on these names. No follow through. So if you take positions today, just make sure you're really taking those positions, not in red zones. You're looking for proper support and you have a good stop loss. Yeah, already. That AI makes it does. You can do that on Grok. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You know what? I'm gonna stay away from the futures channel. I'm gonna stay away from the futures channel. You know? Yeah. Yep. Wow, wow, wow. Don't worry. There's more. You post that one. See, exact. That's true. Exactly. Yogi, no. And now I need more ammunition. Dan, do more, please. Do more. I need more. I need more fire. Come on, Pyro. Come on. Yeah, BKYI looks okay too, but you can tell though that the volume is super low. Super low. Super low. Everything just kind of seems like a quick scalper now. Like MTC, that's a good spot, right? Good retest of the breakout. I'm trying to make this there we go. So resistance, breakout, and then retest. So that level's holding. But then you also have a bit of a downtrend forming there, so that level's gonna need to break. Right? So but that's not bad though. uh there we go. That video is AI. He made that up. He made that up, Dan. Don't listen to him. He made that up. Yeah. So MTC. Did anybody buy AMTC of the retest? So that this is kind of what I mean though. If you're buying anything, it needs to be like off support of consolidation, right? Did anybody buy that off the bottom there? That would have been a nice 20 cent scalp. I vote to ban I vote to ban I vote to ban Rob from Discord. Uh, you did, Mo. Good job. Yeah, 295. There you go. Okay. Scalp, 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 scalp. No, 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 no. There you go. That's a nice pop, actually. Yeah, that's a really good retest of the breakout. So this is the type of stuff you're looking at, right? Not just random stuff at resistance in a supply zone and then you jump in. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. DPA still in your MTC position, still in your MTC. Works is still slowly creeping up, guys. Super slow, but at least it's creeping up. Super slow. Mm, interesting. Yeah, so that supply zone, just be careful. DP, good job on that entry. Good job. Yeah. I think you called this one really nicely and it's done really well. So yeah. Not sure how much of a run you're gonna get in this today, but um, definitely one of the better looking names. Yeah, well done. You got into MTC at so November 5th. Okay, at 71. I think it was. I was watching your stream for the first time. Yeah, let's go, SJ. Good job. 71, and you're still in it at $3. Dang, look at that. So I'm glad you found the stream, and I'm glad you are up. 200% there. That's amazing. Good job. But definitely don't let that thing go less than half of your gains, right? So make sure you take some gains at some point. I don't know what you're waiting for. Probably you have a target in mind, but also make sure you don't let it, you know. Yeah. BAK. I think I asked you earlier. Are you in this one? Are you in BAK? You're wondering if you missed it. It's at the highs of the day. Volume is okay, but you can tell the price action looks a bit suspicious though. Are you in it? Let me know. Yeah, you're testing a daily downtrend there. I feel like with this one, I would not touch it till it broke above $3 or gives you a dip. Alrighty, it was nice. You can see the chart, right? You can see the bottom there. This was really nice, right? Good base. That would have been perfect for you. Now you're testing the daily downtrend, so I can't draw straight lines apparently, but yeah. So your resistance is closer to 295 ish, right? But honestly, at this point, I'd let that thing clear $3 on its own before I even think about it. But yeah, it's done really well. It would if you were in this, it would look really good. Obviously, MTC supply zone, and then a bit of a dip. MSPR is still just playing games. Yeah, 269. Oh, there you go. See, you're fine. Yeah, stay green. Yeah, no. Usually I just use the actual line, because it tracks nicely. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Okay. There goes MTC again. Yeah, this is definitely the if not the best looking stock. One of the better looking stocks right now, because everything else is either too slow or just to the abyss. It does need to clear the supply zone though. That would be good. We need some breakouts. We need some breakouts. Interesting. Okay. NRGV. Little pops. Is it trying to QNRX? Yeah, no, BAK looks good. So just keep moving your stop loss up. SJ should be okay. And then $3 resistance there already. And then go from there. QNRX. Yeah, kind of consolidating and trying to curl for sure. Yep. Yep. Not bad. If that thing can reclaim the 200 EMA there, then yeah, Felix, maybe the volume hits. Maybe if we ever get any volume today, right? we get some good volume, MTC probably will get the volume. 307. Come on, MTC. Here we go. Here we go. Right? If anything gets volume, it's MTC with the volume, isn't it? There it goes. We just tapped that 320 level. Right? So 320. DP, I can see you smile all the way from here. Stop smiling. Right? So again, MTC looks the best. There we go. Brand new highs of the day. 321. 324 at the highs. So just be mindful though that if you're looking for a brand new position, that thing needs to close above that 320 first. But look at that consolidation, right? Look at that. Wasn't this beautiful? Look at that. Technical analysis at its finest, right? There's more levels on the left. That's why this level is resistance. But again, when you have a breakout like right there, a double top, a breakout, a retest, and consolidation, that is perfect. This is what we mean by consolidation, right? Drop, have a few candles hold that level. Why? Because even if you buy there, you can put a stop loss right below and you're going to lose very little, right? If you lose, it's going to be very little. That's the whole idea, right? You want something that's already like, again, you remember how we say eat off the floor, right? Eat off the floor, right? Don't catch the food in the air, let it sit on the floor, right? So you can pick it up the floor, you know? Anyways. But now your next resistance is 320. So you definitely don't want to be touching unless it's actually closed above. Ready? Cool. If not, we're going to get a bit of a retest then. Okay, there we go. Type yes in the chat if you're still holding MTC. I keep asking for a reason. Type yes in the chat if you're still holding MTC. You sold at 320, bought off 295. Give me a high five, Mohammed. Give me a high five. Well done. Yeah, good jobs. That was a good sell too, right? You sell at resistance. Like, thank you, goodbye, and then we drop. Right? Thank you. 320 resistance. Give me my monies. Let me walk away. Right? Anything wrong with that? Nope. Especially not today with super low volume. Right? Super low volume. Not today. ENGN is still holding that same bottom there, so that's good for now. MSPR is just being annoying. Why? Because look at that. It went up to the 200 EMA. This is why we hate stocks below the 200 EMA, because usually that line becomes a problem, right? So now you're coming back to retest the same bottom again at 55 cents. Hopefully it stays above that. Spy was recovering then and they slapped it to the abyss. Oh yeah. Slapped to the abyss. In the market by all smaller cash traders. Yeah. Yep. FOMO is huge, huge, huge. When things are breaking out, for example, like MTC breaking out, people would have been getting excited and pump, right? So, and then those stocks just continue to fly because then people keep getting excited. But Yep. So now the breakouts don't really have follow through, so you most likely just sell at resistance, Come on, MTC. You're the only hope right now. The only hope. Give us a higher low. You're in at 72 cents, Peter. There you go. Make sure your stream isn't delayed though. You're delayed. Whenever you get to this in like 2 minutes, make sure you're not delayed. Refresh the stream or make sure the red dot is on. If your red dot isn't on your stream, just click on live so it goes back live. Alrighty. Here we go. There we go. MTC. Every time we say MTC save us, MTC is like, yeah, I'm up for the task. I'm up for it. The spread is a bit interesting though. Like the spread on this is gonna be, yeah. So we'll see. 313. 313. There you go. There we go. 320 again. 305. Okay. You're green again. Yeah, I think the beauty of like MTC is how slow it is, It's almost predictable, right? Scalp, scalp, scalp. Uh, so 320 resistance then. Obviously, we need to break above that. And guess what? The markets are red. Apple is still green today. Why? Because that's what it does every day. Apple is like the hedge against the market now, isn't it? Hedge against inflation. Maybe it's because people are buying all those new iPhones, Dan needs to go buy a new iPhone. Here we go, MTC. Yep. There we go. MTC brand new highs. So 328. 328. $326. Love it. I don't buy rotten fruit. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. Good. I'm gonna move that just so it's visible. And then we can test $3.30. Good job there, Moha. Alrighty, you sold at 328. Good job. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, don't forget to smash a like if you haven't already. Please and thank you. All the other fun things. And if you do want to join us in Discord, click this link at the bottom of the chat there from Nightbots. Alrighty, click that link and become a member and come join us. 389, yeah, 52-week high, Mo. At least MTC is saving us from a super slow day, Super slow day. $15 now, Dane. Yeah, if you can break and close above, Yeah, if it can break and close above that level, then you're looking for that 17. 17, and then obviously just keep moving that stop loss higher, right? Yep, you can. When everything is slow, you count on MTC. Not AMC, MTC. Raven, you played with Ruby. Okay, off 52-week lows, swing play. Yeah, Ruby looks interesting. There's some social media hype coming back on it as well. Yep, it really is. MTC is a bit easier to predict. There you go. Up to 200 EMA. Okay, good. Yeah, that thing has just been playing games as well. Look at MSPR, guys. Right? Like it's nice that it's holding. It's also really predictable, like the levels. At least with this one, you get a bounce off the bottom, right? Like you usually get a bounce off the bottom, so you can scalp it quickly. Like was a super like with your 80,000 shares, right? Look at that. That's predictable, isn't it? Double bottom, demand zone, consolidation, 55 cents to 57, right? Some nice monies. Nice monies. Yeah. Ruby. Thank you, Andy. Thank you. Yeah, 40 more people smash it. Let's get to 200. 40 more people smash a like. Do you have any tips for using them? Mm, any tips for using them? Hmm. ENGN is also giving a bit of a double bottom here, isn't it? I'm gonna move that line down while I think of that question. So as long as it stays above $9 there. ENGN. It's not a bad looking chart. Everything looks okay, right? To me, yeah. Funny enough, you say that as I'm looking, but yeah, it definitely isn't a bad looking chart, right? But it needs volume though. That's the problem. Just like everything else today, they need volume. MTC is the one with the volume today. I mean, it might not seem like a lot of volume, but it's performing. So yeah, 920 CM. I knew it. Yeah, as long as it stays above $9. You got in at 99 cents, but wondering if it will be okay to keep it until tomorrow. Sell since it's sell since it's at the highs. PDSB. PDSB. Okay, so you're in at 99 cents and you're wondering if you should keep it till tomorrow. That chart doesn't look bad. Not bad at all. The volume isn't amazing, right? Not amazing volume. Um, they also have earnings tomorrow. Not sure if it's tomorrow morning, tomorrow night, right? They do have earnings. So I wonder if this run is because they have earnings. I think your entry is very good though. So that's the only thing that's saving you here potentially. You're kind of pushing for a double top there though, right? $1.15 ish. So I'm not sure what I would do with this position. If it wasn't for that earnings tomorrow, I would say like that's a pretty good spot, and there should be more room for continuation if you can break the double top already. Um, mm, I don't know. For now, just kind of watch it and see how it performs into the close and make your decision. Yeah, earnings MSPR. Yeah, I don't like when momentum stocks have earnings because I think the company can screw it up. My faith for my faith for momentum stocks comes from the price action from retail. Not from the company because the company clearly sucks. That's why they're penny stocks. So then you give them that chance to announce earnings. Usually they end up screwing it up. Usually they end up screwing it up. Anyways, ENGN is looking okay, trying to get that volume. Trying to. Good double bottom, just needs the volume. So $9 to 940. Not bad, right? Not bad. CM, make it pump. Yeah, again, that view up is, if you look to the left, you're going to see the view up as well, right? So this whole level here is going to be it's going to be interesting, right? That whole level there. So it needs like it needs Dan to buy the whole float so it can break above it. And there it goes 940 again. There it goes 944, 945. Will it break out this time? And then MTC, yeah, MTC is the one. It's been the one. Been the one. Miguel, are you in a position? $2.90 more. Been scaling up. There we go. So a retest of the high again. Yeah, 299. Good job. Good job. ENGN is still trying, right? So you can clearly see why we're struggling at that level because there's a triple top and the supply zone and the VWAP. So that's really not a big surprise. And then MTC needs to give us a breakout for the next vibes. And I failed. Right, so everything just seems, scalpies today. Resistance, scalpies. Scalpies, scalpies, scalpies. Mm. True, 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 true. Weakness on this one. Yeah, QNRX. Yeah. Again, stocks below the 200 EMA. Straight stress. Just stress. That's what they are. Just stress. At least ENGN is still above the 200 EMA, bounce off the 200 EMA. So, always interesting the contrast, isn't it? And ENGN is still trying here. MTC is obviously not below the 200 EMA. Right, 200 EMA is all the way down to 270 something. So far, far away. ENGN is like, hey, I'm above the 200 EMA. Really? Okay, let me pop. Right, it's trying. It's unable to close above it though. Right, that candle just popped to 950, right? But then failed. So let's see what it does. And it failed, right? The only reason you got in today is because it was, yeah, okay, nice. Yeah, it definitely looks like a slow and steady, monster. This thing is waiting for us. Last time, I think 2DP, when we got off the stream, that's when the cooking started. That's when the cooking started. So we'll see if it does the same thing again today. But yeah, it does look good. 320 is like a magnet now. A magnet. That supply zone obviously isn't amazing, but it's also a big supply zone. So yeah. You took you sold some of your position, DP. Good. Scaling out is the answer. You make monies on a slow day, you scale out, and then let's hope we can cook some more. 321. Okay, let me send you some of these. Copy. One second, I just need to send Greg some homework. Copy, copy, copy. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. 320. Good. I like it. I like it, DP. Yep. If we're stalling there anyways, you might as well take some gains. Right? If we're stalling there, you might as well take some gains and then keep some, right? You think it's gonna fail? Yeah, it's stalling. The longer it stalls there, the more panicky people get. Also, we're going into lunchtime, right? So we're gonna hop off in like 25 minutes or so, and then go back to Discord, anyways. Alrighty. So we'll round it up to like 3 hours, and then go back to Discord, and then see what can give us some flames. Hopefully MTC. Go 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 go. 317. Okay, good scalp. We need that fat green candle. Like one of those candles, one of those explosive candles to the red zone. That's what we need. But yeah, you should at least have a stop loss on this if it's stalling or you scale out, right? So, Veru, Derek. Yeah, you can tell it wants to go, right? This is the only thing that remotely looks like it's at resistance and wants to go boom skis. Oh, there's the fat green candle. Oh, damn. I think we have someone in the chat, guys, listening to us. That's what we wanted. That's what we wanted, guys. Yeah, see? Someone's listening to us. There's a fat green candle to the red zone. Okay, thank you very much. I think that's Dan buying the float. uh, let's go, Mo. Well done. Yeah, 336. If anything's gonna save us, is MTC. Yep. No, we can't thrust to this. We need more boom skis before we thrust. 299. There you go, Miguel. Yeah, good job. I like it. So highs of the day, guys, 339. Alrighty. We're clearly pushing into that supply zone now, so just be mindful. 315 out at 334. Good job. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Again, MTC is the only thing that looks, like I want to do anything, right? You're liking Ruby Raven? Okay, Ruby. Ruby. Yeah. MTC's been good, like how slow it is, So like it's really easy and predictable. Good job. Good job. That was a good scalp. 3 to 334. Good scalp. Well done. Okay. Plug is curling. Yeah, see, that was the actual support, right, Luna? Where you got in at? The actual support, not a random level at the top. You know? The actual support. Okay. Lots of social media spams about rubbish. Rubbish. Let's go, Luna. Good jobs. So yeah, damn, look at that. Damn. Look at that slap, guys. Sheesh. That 340 said you shall not pass. Damn. Oh my goodness. Wow, wow, wow. That was quite the slap. The good thing is it's still at 320. Most of you guys are in closer to $3, right? Or you sold in the red zone, right? The red zones again are there for a reason. The red zones are there for a reason. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Yep. No, I mean, you're like nasty candle, yes, but then it got back above 320 right away. So people will always sell in the red zone. Right? If you zoom out to the left hand side, you're gonna see where that level is coming from. It's because of the amount of times we've failed in this range. That's why you're having issues right there. Right? MSPR, yeah, MSPR is just like, look at that, right? Again, regardless of how much you like a stock, when it goes below the 200 EMA, your life just becomes very difficult, right? MTC below the 200 EMA, guys? Nope, nope. The 200 EMA is right there. The stock is all the way up there, right? Makes it so much easier to scalp MTC, you know? Yep. You instantly sold for 320. Damn. That is nice. That is very nice run. Oh, that's so nice. So you just had that order waiting there? Okay. I mean, that's dangerous, but that's nice when it works. Shish. Yeah, that happened really quickly too. 305 to 320, exit. Bye, bye, bye. Well done. Yeah. No, 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 no. Mm, 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 mm. Yep. But again, you had the red zone, right? The red zones are not just here for decoration, right? Your red zones are there as reminders, like, hey, be careful. Hey, be careful. You do not buy in the red zone at the very least, right? The green zones are there for reasons. The red zones are there for reasons. So when you see it failing after, like, look at the amount we always talk about T-Rex stalling, right? Look at that. One candle in the red, two, three, 4 minutes before the first red candle, right? So you had so much time to decide there, or to put a stop loss, or to sell, especially today. So let's see if we can test that $3 again and bounce again. Yeah, Desmond, BODI had nice news this morning. I'm surprised it didn't perform like earlier. Had good news. Yeah, that's why I put it on the yeah. Yeah, look at that weakness, right? Do you see consolidation on the way down, guys? Nope. Do you see weakness? Yup. Look at that. From the red zone to the green zone, that thing is getting slapped. Sheesh. Right? This is why people sell on the way up or move the stop losses. Damn, what a drop. Good thing you sold that position too, Ron, right? No greed today. There's no room for greed. We're not in that market where everything is going up 300%. We're in the market where you go up 10%, 20%, and then people start selling, right? There's no room for greed. When you see resistance, you run. And then now we tested the demand zone at 290, and then it's trying to bounce. Yeah. Also, we have another 15 minutes, and then we're gonna hop off and go back to Discord. Yeah. ENGN is still kind of playing in that same range, guys. Look at that, right? Is that the third time now? It's the third time, isn't it? Right? That's the third time now ENGN came back down to that exact bottom and then said, hello, guys. Hello. Hi. I'm going to bounce again. Yeah. Right? So 1, 2, 3. Right? So look at that. We're just going back and forth for now for ENGN, which is not bad. Right? Which is not bad. If it can break out. If it can break out. If not, it's just a scalp. Right? If not, it's just a scalp. But can you imagine the amount of times you could have scalped that thing? Yeah. 921 CM. There you go. See, close to $9, back to 940. Up, down, up, down, up, down. You're looking for an entry into this thing? Yeesh. Just try and stay above 50 cents, please, ma'am. Please. Thank you. Please and thank you. Can we get a breakout? MTC is looking dangerous, isn't it? If it doesn't hold that level, and you're looking for the 200 EMA, if that doesn't hold, yeesh. Pray. Pray. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So many random names, but I don't see anything that stands out. So many random little names. MTC is trying to hold that 290. That's your next support there. So let's hope it stays above it. Yeah, and then Raven obviously mentioned Ruby. Ruby. So let me take a look. Yeah, Ruby doesn't look horrible. It's slowly coming from the abyss there. So we'll keep an eye on that, obviously. Maybe this time, ENGN, maybe. Whoever's listening in the chat, whoever our market maker is, can we get a fat green candle on ENGN? Where's the hot trades market maker? Can we get a fat green candle above 950? Oh, okay. We see you. Huh? Okay. We see you. Okay, okay. Hey, we still need to get back above 950, Mr. Market Maker. That wasn't good enough. We need to get above 950. Pump it. Go from red to green, Luna. Red to green. Red to green is what we need. There we go. Yeah, the spread is a bit suspicious though, isn't it? But CM, good job on that entry, by the way. Sounds good, Tiffany. Sounds good. Have a wonderful rest of the day. And yeah, hopefully when you come back, we have some more chaos. Be safe. Type yes in the chat if you're holding ENGN. I know CM is in this. Anybody else in this one? Just be aware though that you are sitting at resistance right now, so it needs to break above it. Alrighty, you are sitting at resistance there. So obviously it looks like it's been scalpies, for the most part of that green zone. The green zone again is there for a reason. The red zone is there for a reason. So they're not just here because they're fancy, right? The green zone has been perfect, perfect. If you bought this thing off the green zone, you did well. But also the triple top is a problem. So don't go buying at resistance and praying that it breaks out. Alrighty, it needs to break out first. You can do it. Here we go again. Make it happen, CM. The volume is so low, so low, so low. But anyways, yeah, we'll see if it actually breaks above that level and stays above it. And uh, yeah, it's failing, right? It's failing at resistance again, right there. I mean, that line should be a little bit lower to 950, right there. So we just seem to be going back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. So, but if you bought that thing off the green zone, that would have been nice. MTC is still chilling at that 250. GLTO, like this one still looks okay too, doesn't it? This stock doesn't look like it wants to go anywhere. GLTO, but it does need to get back above 20 though. Sounds good, Rod. Sounds good. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. 1970. MTC holding 290. Yep. Come on, we need one of these names to cook. MTC, can you get back above $3? So look at the difference, guys. Right, you see the red zone at the top. Is that a problem? Yes, it is. Do you see the green zone at the bottom? Is it trying to hold? Yes, it is. Right. So these green and red zones are nice. You don't just follow them blindly, though, right? They need to confirm by either consolidating or stalling. So, for example, when this one's kind of consolidating, not horrible. When that one's stalling, it's a problem, right? And then same thing for ENGN. Same thing for all the names, right? You never want to just randomly jump in on a green zone, right? It needs to actually show you that it's same thing. You never want to just blindly sell in the red zone, right? It needs to show you that it's kind of struggling there, and then you're like, okay, thank you. 53, Chris. Okay, there you go. Yeah, just trying to bounce up the green zone, right? Trying to, and then MTC is testing $3. Test. There goes $3. Damn, this volume is sleeping. But again, at least it's bouncing off the 290. So that's a little 10 cents there, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. GLTO still fighting there. ENGN really wants to break. If that volume could come in. Has a conference in 20 minutes? Oh, okay. Hopefully they announce something good then. Something good. GLTO just popped above $20, guys, or retesting resistance there. So $20.50. 2050. ENGN is back to there it goes, back to testing 950 again. $951. Yeah, not on Schwab. There we go. $954. CM, are you still in this one? See, this was a different day. That candle breaks like that. Oof. Right? $10. Here we come. But today, super slow. Anyways, let me know if you have any last questions, guys. Let me know, and then we shall hop off in a few minutes here. Alrighty. So again, let me know if you have any last questions, and then we'll hop off and go continue on Discords. Sound good? Sound good. Sound good. Made your daily goal, Luna. Well done. Good job. Stay green. Thank you. Alrighty. Enjoy your jog. Enjoy. Yeah, you can tell some of these names really want to go. Mm-mm-mm. Hmm. And then look at GLTO. It basically just hit that resistance and failed, right? So $20.50 hit, failed, back below 20. MTC got back above $3 to 303, 304, right? So 290 was good. Little scalp if you wanted to take it. It's and then Ruby is looking good there, Raven. Retesting the double top at 24.30ish. ENGN is like, I have an engine. Can I go? They're like, no, you may not go. You may not go. There we go. It's like, yeah, I want to go now. I want to go now. There we go, guys. Ooh, ENGN. There it is. Finally. Beautiful, guys. Beautiful. And there is $10. There is $10. Yeah, that was perfect. Right? So this is how you get lucky in the market, guys. Right? You do the right things. You do the right things, right? That was a good bottom and a good boom skis. They just decided to rocket it, rocket it. Boom skis. Love it. 921 to 999. Look at that beautiful scalp. Look at that beautiful scalp, right? Look at that beautiful. Anybody else? Scalp ENGN, guys? How did you contact the market maker, Omar? We have connections, connections. Connections. Yeah, MTC, yeah, yeah. And Ruby's looking good. Ruby. Nobody else scalped at ENGN except for CM. CM was the only criminal there. Damn. I think everybody else is running out of cash. There we go. So we're testing the double top now at $10. $10. You did, Diego? Good job. Yeah, just don't be greedy with these names, right? You see how quickly it moves up? That's nice. But it can also move down very quickly. So $10 is your double top there, and if that thing struggles for another candle, they're gonna slap it. If it doesn't, then break about $10 and give us more. You know, so $10 is gonna be your first obstacle here. No Schwab. Yeah, that's way too many problems. If you can't play like two top names on Schwab, then you need to get rid of it. Low nines, J. Good job. Good job. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Yeah, that was a pretty nice dip. A very nice dip. Down to your last. Everything is unsettled. Okay. Yeah. We're saving it for the end of the day. See if something goes boomskis. So yeah, we'll keep watching this one, obviously, right? See if we can break and close above $10, because now it looks like the best name, or doesn't it? So if we can break and close above that $10 there, then we might just be looking for 10.50 and then 11. But we'll see. Again, keep in mind you're at resistance. That's a T-Rex. You should have a stop loss, so you should have scaled out already, right? Should have, right? $10 is a double top in this market. People seem to sell, so you should have sold some at least. If not, that's up to you, right? At the very least, you have a stop loss, because when you break out like that, you don't go red again, ever, ever. You don't go red. If you go red, go outside and wait for ice. Ready? Go outside and wait for ice. Yeah. No. And there goes the drop, right? $10 is resistance. MTC chart shows your chart shows something 320Y. Damn, look at how this slapped it. My chart shows MTC is 260. I'm not sure, Peter. You're delayed. He's probably delayed. He's like, how come you guys are seeing 320? Right? Mine is showing 260. Yeah, whenever you get to this point, Peter, you're delayed. Again, when you're watching the stream, guys, just make sure that the red dot is on. If it's not, just always click on it so it comes back to live. Ready? Yeah. Because clearly we're not at 320, right? We're in the 260s. So yeah, weakness. Look at ENGN, guys. Is that a surprise? Is that a surprise? Really? No. Hopefully we get a retest and a curl. But when you're sitting in today's market, the double top and the stall, like I said, you don't have to make that decision in the first candle. But when you start to see the second and the third and the fourth, and it's like, hey, red zone, red zone. Look at that. Green zone buy, red zone sell. That would have been perfect. Not that you're supposed to do that, because there's more to that than just buying the green zone and selling the red zone. There's a lot more. But when you have the algo, it makes your life a little bit easier like that, doesn't it? Right? Anyway, so that's a retest. Look at that. It's almost a raised, 50 cents. Yeah. Yeah. Scuba, thank you very much. Have a wonderful afternoon and see you in Discord. Alrighty, y'all. We're going to leave it here for the day. Again, if you haven't smashed a like yet, I would appreciate that. 15 more people smash a like. Let's get to 200 likes. Just 15 more. Just 15. Smash a like. Let's get to 200. But anyways, have a wonderful rest of the day. Be safe. Hit that subscribe as well if you're new to the community. If you're not a member yet and you want to join us in Discord, click this link at the bottom of the chat from Nightbot and come join us. Alrighty. We'll keep cooking in Discord, obviously. Cool. So to me, this is a retest of that 950 level. So if it can stay above that and go back for $10, that would be perfect. So MTC, we'll talk about it later as well. And then again, GLTO keeps fighting that 2050, right? It's fighting and fighting and fighting. So that looks good. So again, a whole bunch of names that have the potential to go. Just not sure which of them was gonna get that volume in the afternoon, So we'll keep paying attention to all of them. Thank you, Desmond. Have a great rest of the day as well. Thank you very much. Alrighty. Much love, everybody. Again, be safe, and we'll catch you guys in Discord and or tomorrow. Alrighty. Bye for now. Bye, guys. Bye bye.